Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Intuitive Energy Forecast for February 15th, 2022. I'm Arlene Grace, an intuitive energy coach, channel, and mentor. So, as I feel into the energy today, there is this mood, and the mood is very highly emotional, it's highly intuitive. There's this desire to step out and to discover what freedom is, to express ourselves, right? To discover the truth of what it is that we desire, the truth of who we are. And so as we move into today's energy, we have a 5 and a 10 of diamonds. And the 5 is really inviting us to ask ourselves, what does freedom mean for me? How do I define it? If I am free, what am I experiencing? How do I feel in my body? Right? And the 10 of diamonds is really about fulfillment of acquisition or material or business. It's looking at your life and seeing everything that you have before you and everything that you've actually created, everything that you have brought to you, you've materialized in your life. And yet the 10 of diamonds is really inviting you to take a look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, am I free? Especially when I think about the value of who I am. How do I value myself? And when I value myself, am I actually free? When I was tuning into the energy, it was funny because I had all of my partners, my past partners, all lined up and looking at all of them. And they had this sign above their head, and the sign was narcissist. And not the clinical narcissist, but a narcissist, one that would choose themselves without expressing to a partner, one that would probably, gaslight, one that would ghost, all of those things, right? And in that, some of them had just disappeared and walked away. And there was this feeling of freedom, like, yes, like, okay, well, now I don't have to think about it. I don't have to, deal with it. I don't have to, navigate that. I can go and I can move into the grieving of it, but I don't have to do anything else. I'm actually free. He's no longer in my life. I don't see him. And yet, when you really look at that, that isn't how freedom is defined. Freedom is the navigation of seeing yourself in the mirror, right? When I look at all of these people, this is where I was betrayed by every single one of them. And yet that couldn't have happened had I not allowed for that to happen. That couldn't have happened had I not betrayed myself, actually. Betrayed myself by staying in the relationship, even though I didn't want to. Betraying myself because I was going outside of myself to get value, to get love, to get sex, to get whatever, right? When I think about the abuse, just disappearing or being emotionally or physically abusive, yes, they had their role, absolutely. And yet at the same time, there was self-abuse there. There was control, and control is abuse, self-abuse, and abuse of others. And I was trying to control them. I was trying to navigate them. I was trying to, have them love me and change myself and control myself to be something that I was not. I was abusing myself because I wasn't staying true to who I was. Right? Separation. How they just left, or how they would, separate their emotions from me, how they would not connect or not communicate, all of those things. And yet I myself separated from my heart, from my soul, from my being. I separated myself from love. I didn't love myself enough. I didn't focus on loving myself enough to walk away, to stand true to me, right? And so navigating this in your relationships, and not even just your relationships, we're talking your relationship to yourself, right? And your relationship with others. And today I'm talking about romantic partners, but we can also talk about the parental, units, whether it's grandparents or uncles, aunts. We can talk about teachers. We can talk about your children, all of those relationships. We can talk about your relationship with your money, your relationship with your business, with your career, with your boss. We can look at the relationship dynamic that is happening in the world today at such a level of not even transparency. And yet we can see truths arising from what's happening in the world by those that are leaders. We can see the narcissists, we can see the gaslighting, we can see the ghosting, we can see all of those things that are really inviting you back to you. When you look out in the world, what are your values? Are you willing to value you and stand on behalf of that? And to stand true for that? Or are you going to unconsciously try to control the experience? Right? We're moving into a full moon tomorrow, and the full moon is 27 degrees Leo, which is really about, it's emotional. It's there's a lot of sexual energy. There is this wanting to come together in relationship and to express ourselves in the emotion. And so we're moving into this place where the full moon is bringing full light. Those things that we did not yet see, we now get to see because they become illuminated. They become illuminated in the light. And so as things come and rise today into your own awareness, it's not to come to this place where you get to judge yourself, where you get to close yourself off to you, which is in fact what's happening. Anywhere we judge, we compare, we do those things, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas to others, we are doing it to ourselves as well, and we are closing our hearts. We are closing our minds. We are moving into fight or flight. Our brain shrinks, our energy shrinks, our heart shrinks, our body starts to act in ways where we are running hormones 286 miles per hour in our body. Our body has now moved into survival. We move into a place where dis-ease is open to happening in the body. And so today, are you willing to focus on the breath, to focus on the body, your vessel, and to come into awareness of what is happening in the world, what is happening in my life, how have I stood true for me, and to discover the deeper meaning of freedom for you. Because in all of these places where you get to come into awareness, that leads you on the path towards freedom. Freedom in the mind, in letting go of these stories, freedom in your emotions, in your heart. Coming to this place where you get to forgive yourself for things that you did out of your awareness, unconsciously, under a hypnosis, under a spell of taking actions based on the conditioning from your own childhood. All of this conditioning coming up to rise so that you can decide whether or not they are for your highest good, or that it's time to make a new decision on how to stand true and act on behalf of you. And so today, play with freedom. Play with the idea of what that means for you. Play with the idea of what does it mean to value myself? What does it mean to step forward in that? How would my life change? Beautiful. Questions, comments, please feel free to share, and I will be happy to respond. Sending you all so much love. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.